What up, guys, and welcome to the coffee shop. This is your host, the Baristo, and I'm going to show you something that a lot of people have been asking me about. Let me make sure my camera's right here. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Nope, I'm a little too high there. I like that. Sorry, just being a little nitpicky. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to show you something called the change in state of delivery. All right, that's CISD. To be honest with you, this is a method of trading, like analyzing your charts to try and determine where order blocks exist. Okay. Now, I want to show you this in this downtrend market, right? That falls into a ranging market. Now, there's a reason I want to do this because first I want to show you that change in state of delivery happens all over your chart. It's all over the place. So don't try using an indicator to tell you, when you get a change in the state of delivery. I'm also going to give you a couple of methods to use change of state of delivery to help find the proper state of delivery, potential change in state of delivery, and a filter you can use with fair value gaps to only use the change in state of delivery. Because, for example, when price is doing what it normally does and it leaves behind a fair value gap, let's say, okay, you get a fair value gap, right? Price does all of this, like does this business here, right? And let me just kind of leave a few here. Now, if price left a fair value gap here, as an example, let's say, if price left a fair value gap here, then you are expecting price. Oop, what did I do? I turned off the background instead of this. I'm sorry. So let's say this area was a fair value gap in your price, right? And you want to know what price is going to do when it gets back to this level. Okay. What you're going to be doing is you're expecting price to come back down and either bounce off of the fair value gap, right? You're expecting it to bounce off the fair value gap and continue going long. Or you want to know, is it going to go into the fair value gap and it's going to go short, just like go right through it. Okay, there's a way to determine whether this is going to happen. This is why I want to use fair value gaps with change in state of delivery as a combination of chart analysis. Okay, and you're going to love this one. So watch this all the way through. I will break this. I'll break this session up into different chapters of the video, so you can chime into any part of it that you like to. Just look down below at the timestamps. Also, in the description below, and probably popping up right around here right now, is going to be a link to my Discord live event, which is going to be taking place tomorrow night. So it's going to be taking place October 22nd, short notice. It's going to take place October 22nd at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, going to have a bunch of people there from the YouTube channel as well as from the trading group that I'm part of. And we're going to get together. It's going to be a live Q&A. I want to do a live session, like a live tutorial with you guys for the change in state of delivery. If this video is too complicated or you have questions in the video, I want to be able to answer questions to you guys live. All right, so let's get into that. Right. So anyway, so first I want to tell you what is a change in the state of delivery. Okay, now you pay attention now, okay, because this can get complicated. First, you need to understand what is delivery versus change in the state of delivery. Okay, so you have market doing its trend, right? So the state of delivery, the delivery, like it's the output, right? It's going to be the opening candle, right? The opening price that pushes below the, right, previous structure. Okay, so if this was a candle pushing below previous structure, then you have a state of delivery, which is a positive state of delivery. Okay, and you can see that here, right? You have a opening candle here, right? Opens and it moves down. Your previous swing low is right here. Okay, that's your previous swing low. It's right there. Okay, and this candle opens and continues pushing bearish candles to break this structure. So what you have here is you have a break of structure. Let me see if I have one of these in here. I do not. So we're going to go like this. So what you have is a break of structure right there, which is all well and good. But the state of delivery is a short, right? The state of delivery is short here. Now, that means, how did you get to this point? All right. How did you get to this point? I'm going to leave this structure, this break of structure here. How did you get to this point? You got here from the lowest opening price. Lowest opening price. That's here, the open of this candle. This is the lowest opening price in this move, okay? So that means if this is your state of delivery right here, okay, and it delivers price beyond your structure, then this is a bearish order block. You with me now? Change in state of delivery or state of delivery is an order block, but it is a way to confirm whether it is a bullish or bearish order block, right? So, and you can watch that again if you want to. I'll just let you play that through, okay? Just kind of rewind that, watch it again. So that is how you get a continuation of a state of delivery. So the definition now we're talking about is what is a change in state of delivery, and then I'll show you where you're supposed to define whether this kind of order block or state of delivery is going to work against you or not, right? So in your state of delivery, you need to have a trend. So you've got lower highs, right? And you've got lower lows. So every time you break your structure, the previous high was your delivery, okay? And this is a continuation, not the high, but your highest opening price is the delivery. It's a continuation of your delivery. But what happens when you get a down thrust candle, but then another candle kind of breaks the previous high? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's wipe all this stuff out here. Okay, get rid of this. Get rid of this. Oops, there we go. I actually need that one here. Okay, so a change in the state of delivery is this. In your downtrend, you should always get lower lows and lower highs. Always lower lows and lower highs. But if you get a higher high in your downtrend, okay, if you get a higher high in your downtrend, don't worry about that high until you get a break of structure. All right, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we have pivots, right? So perfect example. Let me just kind of do this. Here you have price moving down, makes a low, pulls back, and it breaks that low. So here you have your break of structure, right? Let's do this. There, we'll just call this our break of structure, right? And again, you got another low that is lower than the previous one, right? And by the way, here I'm using 5-period pivots. I could use more condensed pivots, but I want you to be able to see this without too much on the chart, okay? So you get another low, right? And it's lower than the previous one. And eventually this one becomes broken. So what you want to do is you want to look between these two lows at the high that was created, okay? And this is a potential state of delivery, okay? It's a potential change in the state of delivery. So I'm going to kind of draw this out here. And it's going to be the close of this candle. Anytime you have a swing high between two lower lows, okay, just watch me on this one. This is going to be a CISD, potential change in the state of delivery. And you'll need to know about this level in the future, okay? Let me just kind of do this here and here. There we go. So now it's nice and even. I'm going to allow this one to just kind of drag itself all the way out, go way out there. And I'll put the text on the left side, right? Let's kind of put it in the middle, top, center, left. There we go. Let's give it some room. Now we can actually see it, okay? So this is a potential change in the state of delivery. Meanwhile, price is going to continue moving down. So the good thing about using a proper pivot indicator is it will draw these things out for you, okay? So there's a change in state of delivery here, change in state of delivery here, but these are actual changes in the state of delivery, this candle and this candle. And I'll show you why, right? So the way we got this one, okay, this one is we had a low and a low, okay? So if I just kind of look at the space between these two lows, there's a high there, right? There's a high there. That closing price, right? That is the potential change in a state of delivery. If price closes above this level, doesn't have to close above the high. then that means this area, right? How did I get to this high? I got to this high from this low here, okay? Let me drag this away. I got to this high. So I have a low and a low. There's a high in between. How did I get to this high? I got here from this low to this close. Okay. So now I'm going to drag this out. I'm just going to let it stick out to the right. So now this is an order block. That's an order block. So what I'm showing you right now is that there are changes in the state of delivery and potential changes in the state of delivery all over the chart. I'm going to go one step further and show you a regular change in the state of delivery. Okay, this is a potential one. It is not an actual one. It's a potential one, right? So we got this one, right? So that's our potential change in the state of delivery. That's how you find that. Okay, let's get rid of this. Well, I don't want to get rid of that. I'm just going to leave that there. Let me drag this up here. I'll put it back when I'm going to move on and show you what happens later in the chart. Now, I have this arrow here because, why? I have down thrust, right? See, here's the swing high. Thrust moves down, okay? Keeps moving down. All of a sudden, I have a high here. I don't get a close above this high. I get a high here. I get a close above this high. This candle, okay, see? Higher lows, higher highs, close above the high. This candle is the actual change in the state of delivery. That means I had a downtrend and a candle, single candle came through and it closed above the previous high. I was in a downtrend. I should have lower highs. This candle gives me a higher high with a close above the previous high. That is a change in the state of delivery. So again, I have to look at how did I get to this point? How did I get to that closing candle? I got there from the low, right? From the low that was created to that closing price. This becomes an order block. Now, this is a stronger order block. This is a potential order block that's over here. It's a potential one, right? From that low. So you have a potential one here, all right? Going to move that away. And you have a strong order block here. What you're looking for now is when you start entering support levels, right? When you start entering support levels in price, you're going to see a lot of changes in the state of delivery. Okay, you're going to see a lot of them. And what you're going to notice is that you're going to get one large one. Then you're going to get a smaller one. Okay, you're going to get a smaller one. And then you're probably going to get a smaller one still, right? It's going to get even smaller, right? And they're going to vary where they are, all right? You got one here, you got one there, okay? And they won't be stepping down like this, not always. You could get a secondary one like here. You can get the smaller one a little bit higher, right? It could be like this, all right? So, oh, sorry. Let me just kind of do this here, right? We got that one. Now you can see that each one of these is a zone, okay? There. And there. Okay, so and you can see you got first one, second one is low, third one is a little bit higher than the second one. So, and it just gets smaller and smaller because they are order blocks, right? And if you're on a smaller time frame, you're going to see lots of them. So you really want to look for these CISDs. I have this written out wrong. You want to look for this CISDs, change in state of delivery. You want to look for them on higher time frames and then trade them on your lower time frames. But you can work with them on the same time frame that you trade. That's fine, right? So what signifies this as being a change in the state of delivery? Very simple. I have a downtrend taking place. You can see lower lows, right? Lower lows. But here between these two, if you look, right, here's a low. And this indicator actually drew out that a high was formed at this point. Okay, I didn't draw this on here. This was automatically drawn down here. See, all right? So you got a low and a low, and in between these two lows, you had a single candle that closed above the previous highs. So you have a change in the state of delivery. Delivery is for shorts. All of a sudden, you got a long move. How did you get to this point? Draw it from the low to that close. That's it, right? And if another candle closes a little bit higher, you want to draw to that one as well and drag that out. Now, you end up getting that here, okay? Now, let me turn the indicator off, a little bit less on the chart. And you get another one right here. Now, like I said, you're going to get them when you get to support areas in price. You're going to get a big one, then a smaller one, then a smaller one, until price starts breaking out of all three of these or four of these or however many you got. But the point that I'm making is, like, so you have lower highs, lower lows, then you get a low and a what? You get a higher high, and the close of this candle is above this high, right? It's above the previous high, okay? So what is the low to the highest close on this particular order block? Again, it's an order block. The change in state of delivery is an order block, right? So you're going to go from, it happens to be that it's the low of the candle itself, and you're going to go to the close. You have to wait for the next candle to form, and this is your order block, okay? So let's mark this one as a CISD as well, and then this one, which is also the same. And I'm doing this to show you that these are all over the chart, okay? So I'm looking for bullish change in the state of delivery in a downtrend, okay? It's the equivalent of seeing an engulfing candle, right? It's very similar to seeing an engulfing candle, but it only overtakes the close of the previous candle. It does not have to overtake the previous swing high, and I'll show you what that is. So like, for example, here you have a change in the state of delivery, right? This candle closes above the high of the previous candle, but it also closes above the swing high here, the swing high here, the swing high here. This is a displacement candle. This is a fair value gap, right? So you want to find the change in state of delivery. This is the filter you're going to use. You want to find the change in state of delivery that happened inside this fair value gap. This is going to be your ultimate. It's going to be the bottom of your support, right? This is why you want to use filters on this. So you have a change in the state of delivery here. You've got a change in the state of delivery here. There's one up here, right? You got another one down. Where is it? You got one right here. So you got like 3 or 4 of them in this downtrend. And then you got this one. So this is why I want you guys to be able to filter them out and figure out like where do they work for you, right? So even if I drag this out, okay, you see price has trouble getting through this order block and drag it through here. Price is still having trouble getting out of the top of this order block, right? And if I take this one here, there we go. Okay, so, and there's probably another change in a state of delivery just on a smaller time frame, like right in this level, which causes price just bounce right off of here, okay? And actually it's right here, okay? So, yeah, it's right here. It's this one. So you get from the low to this point. Here's the change in your state of delivery. It's this right here. And if you travel that out, you're going to see that price doesn't want to move beyond that part. And then it finally breaks out. So the point that I'm making is that change in state of delivery is all over the chart. You want to be able to filter it out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete all this stuff, okay? And I'm going to give you an example of using change of state of delivery. Sorry, I wanted to pull this down. No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to give you an example of using the change in state of delivery, right? Let me turn this off because we don't need it. It's putting extra stuff on my chart. Using it only with expansion candles. So here's an example. Here's downward pivots, right? And you got lows, lower lows, lower lows, leaves behind a high. I'm not worried about this. I'm looking for an expansion, right, that creates a fair value gap, and it breaks the previous high in a downtrend. So here's my trend line, okay? Here's a high, a swing high is right there. It's broken. Here's a swing high here. It's broken, right? Got one there. I don't know if the other one's broken, but at least I have these two broken, okay? Here's another swing high. Yep, that one is broken, okay? It doesn't have to break 3. It just needs to break 1, okay? You have an expansion candle that breaks a swing high in a downtrend, okay? Downtrend, long candle, breaks that. Engulfing, nicely done. So what you're looking for is the fair value gap. And that's going to be right here. There's the fair value gap. So what you want to do now is you want to find the change, the candle, the one candle that was a change in state of delivery, and it started inside this fair value gap this way, okay? You're going to find the fair value gap. You're going to look this way and find the candle that caused a change in the state of delivery. That's this candle. And I'll tell you why again, okay? So you have down thrust candles, right? They're all breaking lows. This candle does not close above the previous open. It also doesn't close above the previous high. You get lower highs, right? You get lower lows, nice move, nice structure moving down. This candle, however, like it opens here, closes above the previous open, and it also closes above the previous high. That's your candle. This is your bad boy right here. This is the indicator of the strongest order block that is in the downtrend at support, okay? So you're going to mark the low to the close of that candle. You're going to drag that out. And like I said, we are right here, right now. Give it another couple of candles because you want to be able to see the fair value gap, okay? You got the fair value gap. So now you got a fair value gap. You have your order block, which is a C. Let me correct this here, right? Let me fix that text. That's kind of messing me up. CISD. There we go. Change in the state of delivery zone, okay? And you have the FVG. It's nice to have them together. It's really good. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to either eliminate or tap this fair value gap. But you have to be careful because the order block is larger than the fair value gap. There will be times where you have a, there will be times where you have a change in the state of delivery inside the fair value gap. And this is really good if you do this, right? You have the change in state of delivery inside the fair value gap. That means price is only going to come down to that level, okay? And then it's going to start bouncing the other way. And you'll be able to determine which kind of an order block it is, because in this case, it's a bullish order block, right? So if there was a change in state of delivery, bullish, inside of this fair value gap, you know that price would come down to this level in the fair value gap, right? And it would move back out, right? So, but that's not what we have here. We have it the other way around. In this case, let me go right here. The order block is larger than the fair value gap. So you really just need to tap the fair value gap, and you need to start taking longs out this way or shorts out this way. But be careful. You have now higher lows below, right? You have now higher lows below your order block. Okay, so this is going to be where you get trapped. Okay, now you know you're in support. So that means you want to be able to find your lowest point, and you want to treat this as structure. Okay, you want to treat that as structure. And you really only want to take shorts. You want to continue your short move if you get down here, right? So let's let this play out a little bit, right? So we've gone through the fair value gap, closed it through nicely, okay? So now the fair value gap has been removed. However, it created, to do that, it created another fair value gap. See it right there? Let me wipe this away. Let's do this. Okay. So this fair value gap was closed through here, but then moving back through, it created another fair value gap. So let's put this back on. There. There we go. Another fair value gap exists right there. Now you see the fair value gap. Fair value gap is a little bit bigger. You have higher lows, right? Okay. Fair value gap. And then there's, oh, nope, it's still a little bit bigger. That's fine. It's another expansion. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Fair value gap was created, and then it gets tapped, right? See how it gets tapped? And it went to the bottom of what? It went to the bottom of the fair value gap and to support. And now you should start getting your long move at this point, right? That's where price starts making longs now, okay? So now you're back into your bullish market. So I wanted to put that together for you. It's a method to use fair value gaps along with change in state of delivery. But the whole point is to understand what is a change in the state of delivery? What does it look like? And a method that you can use to filter them out so you're not looking at all of them, okay? Because you have lots of them. Again, you got one here as a change in state of delivery. We have a downtrend. There's a change in a state of delivery here, but it doesn't result in anything, right? You know, so as an example, if I was going to use this as the change in state, I would go from the open to the high, and I would say, here is my support level. Well, you can see that doesn't support anything. Price just keeps moving, right? And actually your structure is down here. So that ends up being your structure, right? And it does not result in positive move, it ends up giving you, say the structure here, ends up rejecting price 2 times, drops finally down there, right? So there you go. That's how you use your change in state of delivery. Hope you enjoy that. And if you want, and I know it's a bit complicated, I know that you're going to have some questions. What I want you to do is I want you to follow the link that's up there, and I want you to follow the link in the description. Go to my Discord tomorrow night for the live event, and I'll be more than happy to do a one-on-one with you guys. I'm going to record that event as well, and it's probably going to be some Q&A from like other people in the trading group. I'm going to record it. I want you guys to ask these questions with me like directly, because I want to be able to answer your questions, okay? This can be very complicated, and again, if you go and use an indicator, right, you start using an indicator to find the change in the state of delivery, it's going to plot it all over your chart. You need to know when does it matter, and this is the only way to know, okay? Otherwise, you're just gonna have your chart full of nonsense. You don't need all that stuff. I want you guys to learn how to do this visually, use your eyes, you know, and understand what that is. Any questions, ask it below, use the links, and get in touch. This is another tutorial from the coffee shop. Peace out.